This is a rerun of episode 164 of the Sweaty Startup Podcast, but never is it more applicable. I talk about some radical open-mindedness. I talk about blind spots. My life is much different now than it was when I recorded this episode, but I listen to it often because it rings true. And to make good decisions in emotional times, in scary times, in times when mentally you're in a fragile state, maybe, this is important stuff. Hope you enjoy this episode. Good morning. It's about 6:30. Sun's coming up in Athens. If you guys wonder how I try to stay sane and how I try to stay fit, it's getting on this thing right here before the kids wake up and doing a virtual workout on my computer. Got to do whatever you can do to try to stay active, stay healthy, and more importantly, keep your mind from getting down negative thought patterns, negative habits. If you guys are enjoying this train of thought videos, if these stream of consciousness videos, hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Give me some feedback as well in the comments, whether you like this kind of thing or you want me to get back to posting just the normal stuff. But as we've kind of navigated the last 4 weeks, I can't help but think about how much has changed and how many times I have changed my mind on something. And that doesn't sound revolutionary or visionary by any means, but for me it is kind of a game changer because I feel like the people who are closed-minded, the people who are stuck in their ways, the people who are not absorbing new information and changing their mind, those people are going to get hit very, very hard by what's to come. If you're reacting too slow, if you're in denial, if you're not making decisions based on information that's coming in, it is so hard to get things right, to make good decisions, to make non-emotional decisions. I can't help but think about a principle kind of to guide me through this and to guide my mindset through all this. And it's in the book Principles by Ray Dalio. And if you don't know who Ray Dalio is, he's a famous investor who basically put all of his investing and life principles in a book called Principles. And it's basically his mindset for guiding him through really, really hard decisions and making better decisions and making more money and being more productive. And one of these principles, one of these concepts that he talks about is radical open-mindedness. And he calls radical open-mindedness the search for truth and nothing else. So you're constantly willing to change your mind. You're constantly willing to use new information that comes at you and adjust your opinions and look for blind spots and to search for what is right without searching for information that supports your own desires. So many humans, it's the human nature to have a viewpoint and search for information that supports that viewpoint. I mean, there's no better example of that than politics online. People flock to information that supports their political viewpoint. People don't listen at all. They're super stubborn. They don't hear out the other side when it comes to politics. The same exact phenomenon is at place with everything. Business, your goals, every decision that you make in life, you are predispositioned to filter information in that supports your goals, supports your viewpoint, and supports what you think might happen. So the people who really win, the people who get really, really good at making decisions are able to take all information for what it's worth. Take all information at face value, accept the information, digest the information, and treat it all the same. Treat all the information that comes in the same, whether it supports your opinion or not. And Ray Dalio has a really complicated formula for weighing different information that comes in by value and what's more likely to be correct. But without going that far into it, it's just a simple act. Radical open-mindedness is just a simple act of accepting new information and being willing to change your mind in a radical way. Doubting yourself in a radical way and changing your mind all the time. And I can't help but think about how valuable that is right now when things are changing so fast. And I think about how many times I've changed my mind in the past month. A month ago, somebody put a tweet online that said, I think within a week, the NBA season, the MLB season, and the NHL season will all be canceled. And they made a couple radical claims beyond that. And I said, oh my God, no way. I was like, that is absolutely absurd. This person has gone lunatic. Within 5 days, almost everything that he had predicted happened. And I just took a step back, took a big old slice of humble pie, and realized that I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. I have to be ready and willing to change my mind at a moment's notice. And so many people right now especially think they know way more than they actually know. One example of this is the loan stimulus program. You guys saw my rant online about loans and how Mark Cuban made a tweet that said the first goal of every business owner right now needs to be to sign up for small business loans and get in line for the government aid that's coming. Take as many loans as you can before you fire anybody. And I thought that was mad. I thought take on a bunch of unsecured debt to pay your employees to not work. That is insane. Mark Cuban's gone crazy, and I did a full long rant about why I thought it was horrible to take on all these loans, what it was going to do to people. Well, within 5 days, the government announced that they were going to subsidize these loans in a massive way, that all the payroll that you paid with these loans was going to get forgiven, and that it wasn't personally guaranteed debt. And I had to take a big old piece of humble pie, swallow it, and realize that I was wrong and Mark Cuban was right. And you absolutely should have gotten in line. And the people who were getting in line and signing up for this debt and these government aid programs back then, they're the ones getting funded now, while my company, we waited a week or 2 weeks later to get our name in the hat, and we haven't obviously been funded yet. Just one small example of the many, many times in the past month that I've changed my mind. I have absolutely no idea how to feel about this, how to feel about the quarantines, whether they're right, whether they're wrong, what data to trust, how to feel about the virus, the severity of the virus, whether to panic, whether to not panic, whether to sell stocks, whether to buy stocks, whether to buy real estate, whether to sell real estate. I have absolutely no idea. And I'm going at all of this with a radically open-minded mindset that I'm going to take in information as it comes in, and I'm going to change my mind often. And I'm going to admit it when I'm wrong, and I'm going to just try to make the best decision that I possibly can. Another big part of this is emotions. Ray Dalio talks all the time about how anger, fear, panic, excitement, greed, all these emotions will drastically hinder your ability to make very, very good decisions. And that is so true. When people are scared, they make decisions. When people are angry, they make decisions. When people are selfish and greedy, they make decisions that are not the best decisions. They're ignoring data. And there's no time where that is more the truth than right now. Trying really, really hard to make unemotional, unbiased decisions will be a huge key to success in the coming weeks, coming months, as I'm sure in a month, the world will be an entirely different place. What people are saying right now on Twitter, if they were saying it a month from now, they would look absolutely ridiculous because they're so wrong about what they think is going to happen. I mean, it's wild. So the mindset here for everybody needs to be, okay, take a step back, try to make unemotional decisions, and try to control what we can control. Another huge part of this is understanding what we actually do know and realizing what we have no idea about. A good example of this is the can opener paradigm. So when you think about a can opener, when you think about how it works, the big mind mess here is to try to draw a can opener. You ask the average American, do you know how a can opener works? 90% of them will say, yeah, I absolutely understand how a can opener works. But when you put a piece of paper in front of you and you have to actually draw a can opener, and you have to put together the mechanics of how it works, of how the can twists, of how the blade cuts into the can, how it grips the can, like 4 or 5% of people can actually draw it and understand how it works. But 90% of people thought they knew how it worked. And that is so true with everything. It's so true with the economy. It's so true with this virus. It's so true with the markets, the debt that I'm talking about, these loan predictions that I'm making. Who knows if they're right? Everybody thinks they really understand things when in reality they understand a lot less than they really think they do. But the great thing about business, the great thing about this environment is that you don't necessarily need to understand everything to make good decisions and to add value, to create wealth, to make sales, and to grow a healthy business. I am not a genius. I know a little bit about self-storage. I know a little bit about service-based entrepreneurship. I know enough to make money. I know enough to be productive. I know enough to feel confident in my investments and my own ability. So you don't need to know everything about the economy. You don't need to know everything about this pandemic. All you need to know is how to make money, how to do your little thing that you do well enough, better than other people, to make a living, to build a business, to grow a successful company. So this radical open-mindedness, this understanding what you don't understand, this keeping emotions out of your decisions, those are 3 skills that are highlighted right now. And the people who change their mind often, the people who are unemotional, the people who understand what they don't know, those are the people that are really going to weather this storm the best. And it's just kind of highlighting what happens in everyday life. I mean, the past 10 years, the economy has been rising at such a clip that everybody has been winning. Everybody has been winning. Rising tide floats all ships, as they say. But when things get tough, you really see who's really good and who's not. And we're going to see that the people who make these good decisions, the people who are open-minded, the people who are unemotional, are going to start winning, and they're going to win a lot more and a lot faster than everybody else. So it gives you something to think about. Enjoy the rest of your morning, and try to stay sane. It's crazy times right now. Hey guys, I have big news. I recently revamped my sales and customer service team at my self-storage company using folks in South Africa. Listen to this English accent.
Hi there, my name is Anton and I'm a sales professional from Gqeberha or Port Elizabeth, which is in the eastern province of South Africa. I've been in sales for about 8 years now with experience in hardware sales with some of the leading brands in the world, such as Canon, Panasonic, and more recently Red Bull.
Okay, now the surprising part. The person you just listened to is available for hire right now, and they're asking $9 an hour. If you want an introduction, if you want to hire this person into your business or at least interview them, send me an email, nick@sweatystartup.com, and I can make an introduction and offer you $1,000 off the recruiting fee. nick@sweatystartup.com.